Some vaccine providers are having to waste some of the doses of vaccine they've received. I'm Chris Warner. We're going to tell you what's going on with that and how you can help.
Authorities follow a new lead in the search for the missing Welch, Oklahoma girls.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Chances for strong storms move into the forecast and increased chances of flooding. This is KOAM News at 6. Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Yeah, showers, thunderstorms have been slowly starting to pick up over the past couple hours. As of right now, we just kind of have some light showers across southeastern Kansas, southwestern parts of Missouri, but these will pick up in intensity and also coverage as we work through the evening hours. Bigger storms are kind of staying back to our south and to our west, and that's the best threat for severe weather tonight down through central Oklahoma and also parts of Texas. As this band in central Oklahoma kind of spreads in, we could get some strong storms, and we can't rule out a low-grade severe storm, but I really think most of these are just going to be good old showers and thunderstorms through the evening hours. Here's 9 p.m. Scattered thunderstorms. This batch rolls through, a little bit of a lull, and then they'll start to pick back up again as we go into the morning hours, showers and thunderstorms again as we go into tomorrow morning and then also tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures have been nice over the past couple days. We're still sitting into the lower 70s, still windy. The winds are going to die down a little bit for us as we go through the next 24 hours, but it's going to stay pretty windy as we work through the rest of the evening hours for us tonight. Of course, we're going to break down this forecast and this system here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. Some area vaccine providers face an issue they're trying to avoid: wasting vaccines. KOAM's Chris Warner tells us what local health providers are seeing.
Prater's Pharmacy in Webb City offers COVID-19 vaccines. However, they're running into an issue of people not making their appointments.
Missed appointments affect all of us, not just the pharmacies. It affects the hospitals and other providers that are vaccinating because these vials do not have preservative in them. So if there's 10 doses in a vial, we need to make sure we have 10 people lined up because it's got to be used within 12 hours of opening.
That leads to wasted vaccines.
If somebody doesn't show up or cancels at the last minute, to avoid wasting doses, we're then kind of searching for somebody else that can come in and get it immediately. If we can't do that, the dose is wasted, unfortunately.
Prater says the other issue is people not coming in for scheduled second doses.
If somebody doesn't show up for their second dose, it's pretty much wasted, because if we were to use that as a first dose for somebody, we couldn't guarantee that we would have a dose, their second dose for them, just because of the way the government sends the vaccine automatically for the second dose.
We reached out to other providers in our area and got some mixed responses. Some say they've wasted no vaccines to just a few. Others have wasted higher amounts, close to 30. Prater says there's one thing you can do to prevent providers from wasting vaccines.
So if you have an appointment with any provider for your vaccine, I would just ask that you keep that appointment, even if something comes available sooner. We're not trying to be rigid about that. It's just there's a lot of planning involved, and if you do cancel that appointment, we do need to fill that spot or the vaccine will go wasted.
In Webb City, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Prater says once a vaccine vial is open, it can't be transferred to another facility or put back into cold storage. Authorities in Oklahoma today dug up a root cellar at a home in Pitcher as they search for the remains of Ashley Freeman and Laura Bible, who've been missing for more than 20 years. Investigators believe the girls were kidnapped and murdered, but their bodies have never been found. The home used to belong to David Pennington, one of 3 suspects in the case. Pennington has since died. Pennington allegedly threatened to beat his ex-wife and stepdaughter if they looked in the cellar, which led authorities to want to investigate it.
Kind of fall in, you take what Pennington said to Busick, you take what the relatives said to Pennington, or Pennington told them, and you piece it all together, and there was something over here he didn't want them to see. And so you add all this together, it leads us out here today where we've got to excavate this.
So far, authorities have not found anything at the site. Ron Busick, the sole living suspect in the case, is serving 10 years in prison. In July, he pled guilty to accessory to murder in the girl's disappearance. Busick's sentence could have been reduced 5 years in prison and 5 years probation if the remains of the 2 Welch girls had been found. A man from Coffeyville, Kansas, charged with a shooting outside Zan nightclub in downtown Springfield, Missouri, is claiming self-defense. Juwan Thompson told an investigator he and two friends were spending a night out on the town. He says they didn't have any problems when they went into the club Saturday night. Thompson told the investigator he got a gun from his car after leaving the club because he says he felt safer. Outside Zan's, Thompson says a man hit him in the face with what he believed was a gun. At least two others tackled him. Thompson fired a couple of shots. A bullet hit one man in the side. Thompson is charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Authorities say a man from Joplin died after his motorcycle crashed over the weekend in Newton County, Arkansas. Orville Nelson was traveling on Highway 7 when his motorcycle skidded off the road, hit a bluff, and flipped. Nelson was 65 years old. Still ahead, details of a Missouri bill that would raise the state's gasoline tax, and how Pitt State's Kels College of Business is helping students survive the last couple of weeks of school. The city of Weir, Kansas is looking at the first impression it's giving visitors. Weir is part of a program that gives communities an objective first impression of their town. The program is hosted through Kansas State. The university had visitors share their unbiased views of the community. Officials in Weir say this is a way to really see where the town's succeeding and where it can do better.
I look at the same things. Sometimes when you do that, you just get blinders on and you don't see the changes that have happened or that have not happened or that maybe need to happen because you just don't notice things anymore. I'm hoping that looking at an outsider's view will give us an idea of what other people see when they come to Weir.
Tonight, the town will be showing a public presentation of the project's findings and will discuss ways to improve. We're going to have more on that for you tonight at 10. A Missouri House committee unanimously endorses a proposal to increase the state's gasoline tax. The House Transportation Committee's vote sends the measure to the full House, where some Republicans oppose raising taxes. If it's approved, Missouri's gasoline tax would increase 12.5 cents over 5 years, resulting in a tax of 29.5 cents per gallon. It would be the first increase since 1996. The House Speaker, Rob Vescovo, a Republican from Arnold, has previously said he's against tax hikes. The Senate approved the measure in March. Supporters say the state needs the revenue to repair deteriorating infrastructure. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly has vetoed a ban on the use of state dollars to enforce mask mandates and 17 other budget provisions. Kelly said in a statement she supports the majority of the budget, but that some pieces were unnecessary, had been resolved in other bills, or should have been vetted better. Other provisions that were vetoed include one that would give legislative committees more power over how to allocate federal relief funds. The rejections come after Kelly last week vetoed a ban on transgender school athletes, civics and financial literacy requirements for high schoolers, and gun safety education for students using National Rifle Association materials. Governor Kelly today signed an executive order that gives licensing agencies the flexibility to start reimposing license renewal deadlines and fees. That takes effect on May 28th. Last year, Governor Kelly put a temporary hold on those deadlines because of the pandemic. But the governor says now that people are getting vaccinated, state agencies should be able to safely reimpose deadlines. Students at Pitt State are staring down the barrel of dead week and finals week. It's a stressful time in normal years, but made worse, of course, during the pandemic. So the Kels College of Business devised a plan to help take away some of that stress. They delivered survival kits to 250 students.
I love getting to see students and give things out to them. I know as a student it was fun to get little gifts and just see encouragement from your staff and peers, and so that's really nice to be able to give back to them.
The survival kits include a Frisbee, a koozie, some mints, a bag of chips, and some soap. Later, faith leaders in Overland Park, Kansas demand answers in the death of a 17-year-old who was shot by police in 2018.
Plus, showers and thunderstorms working in for us tonight. Also, some heavy amounts of rain. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be another warm, windy day for us today. Temperatures back up near 80 during the afternoon, which is a little bit above where we should be for this time of the year. But our next storm system rolling in, we have a flash flood watch, which is in effect really over about the next 36 hours across Oklahoma, Arkansas, southwestern Missouri, along and south of Interstate 44. This is where the heaviest rain is lining up. So north of I-44, not quite heavy enough to warrant a flash flood watch at this time, but something we'll watch. Temperatures mainly sitting into lower 70s as we did go into the upper 70s for highs for us today. It's still been very windy. They're starting to diminish a little bit, but we still were getting gusts kind of in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range at times during the afternoon. You can see some of these wind gusts, but they have been dropping back just a bit over the past several hours, which is good. It's been a little bit too windy. Cloudy skies. We have some random showers across the region. Temperature right now sitting at 72, south winds at 6, humidity is at 78%. Through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 70s, eventually mid 60s later on tonight. But we are going to have those showers and thunderstorms starting to pick up as we go through the next several hours. And you can already see we have some very light showers. Maybe a rumble of thunder in some of those, but showers and thunderstorms starting to increase a bit back across north central parts of Oklahoma. All this is very light, nothing strong, nothing severe at this time. In fact, the best chances for severe thunderstorms are going to occur across central and western parts of Oklahoma down through parts of Texas. But as these intensify and head toward us later on tonight, we could get a few stronger storms. There's a slight chance we may get a random low-grade severe storm, but I really think these are just going to be showers and thunderstorms and a few strong storms. But you can see this whole system covers a ton of real estate, but the main system still way back toward the west out across southwestern parts of the U.S. and all this energy just kind of riding up right into the central plains, causing those showers and thunderstorms. All right, let's go through time. Scattered showers, scattered thunderstorms for us during the evening hours. Could have some pockets of heavy rain. And again, there could be a few stronger storms within that batch, but not overly concerned. A little bit of a break after midnight, and then by morning, additional showers, thunderstorms start to work in as we go through the morning hours. Some of these could be on the strong side, but I do not expect anything severe tomorrow morning. But we could get some heavy amounts of rain. As we go into the afternoon, scattered thunderstorms continue. If we had anything strong or severe, this is mainly going to be in our southern counties, Oklahoma, southwestern Missouri, Arkansas, southwestern Missouri, south of I-44. But again, we could get some heavy amounts of rain. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, and then things will start to calm down as we head into Thursday morning. So rainfall, we got to see where those heaviest bands set up, but a lot of areas could pick up 1 inch, 2 inches, maybe even isolated 3-inch amounts as we go through the next 36 hours. 71 tomorrow, 68 Thursday, some morning showers. Friday looks good, Saturday looks good. We're going to have to put some rain chances, some storm chances back in late Sunday, Monday, maybe even lingering into Tuesday as well.
That could add up to a lot of rain over the course of the coming week.
That's for sure.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, an investigation is underway into the shooting death of a Kansas City-based journalist. And a search for answers in the death of an Overland Park, Kansas teen who was shot by police. Officials in Overland Park, Kansas say they'll release a long-requested report about a 17-year-old's death. An officer shot and killed the teen in Overland Park in 2018. Last night, the city posted online that it would release the report. Matt Flenner reports that's the same day a faith-based organization called for the police chief's resignation.
Our presence today is to acknowledge the lack of confidence in the leadership of our police.
On Monday, the More 2 social justice organization stood to ask for the resignation of Overland Park's police chief.
Overland Park must do better.
Sheila Albers lost her 17-year-old son, John, in 2018. An Overland Park police officer shot Albers as the teen backed a family minivan out of the driveway. The officer said Albers was trying to hit him with the van.
There was a false narrative released around my son's death, and on every step, Chief Donchez either shared false information or omitted information.
Albers and others saying the community has lost faith in Police Chief Frank Donchez after the investigation into John Albers' death.
But not everyone who showed up here on Monday agreed the police chief should resign.
I do not believe that the police chief did anything wrong. I'm going to say it was an unfortunate accident.
Mary Brown lives in Overland Park and supports the chief.
I think the path for moving forward is to forgive.
You can forgive people, but you also need justice.
Albers says she's forgiven the officer who shot her son, but still wants accountability.
When they do make mistakes, we need to hold them accountable like you would in any other profession.
The FBI has been investigating Albers' death. The More to Social Justice organization says lawsuits are pending against city police. A Kansas City, Missouri journalist ready to start a new chapter in her life was killed by a stray bullet. Aviva Okeson Haberman was in her apartment when authorities say she was struck by a bullet that went through her window Friday. The 24-year-old worked at KCUR, a public radio station. KCUR's news director called Okeson Haberman brilliant and remembered her bright spirit and promising future. She had just been promoted to report on social services for the Kansas News Service and was scheduled to start next month.
She was incredibly humble. You would have never guessed that she was somebody that was such a firm and dogged reporter, because she was just so kind and gracious and just a joy to be around.
Okeson Haberman was an organ donor and she was on life support so that her organs could be retrieved. Kansas City police say the shooting is under investigation. Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Sergeant Michael Ligon. The Joplin native served in the U.S. Army during Operation Desert Storm. And we are proud to salute Sergeant Michael Ligon. He's tonight's four-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, sometimes it's helpful to have strangers visit your town and give you their impression of the community, what's good, what can be improved, and that's what's happening right now in Weir, Kansas. Plus, India's COVID-19 outbreak is showing no signs of slowing down. Also going to learn about efforts to stop future pandemics. That and much more, of course, coming your way tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Jordan, thanks. Now, a pizza delivery in St. Charles County, Missouri is costing a family a lot more than just the pizza they ordered. The family ordered that pizza around 11:15 p.m. They waited hours, called the restaurant multiple times. Still no pizza. They eventually gave up, went to bed. The next day, they checked their surveillance cameras. Turns out around 11:45, just 30 minutes after they ordered, their pizza was delivered. It was left on a car outside. Hours later, after the family had given up, it became a meal for a dog that had been roaming the area. Unfortunately, the family didn't just miss out on dinner. The dog scratched up the car, leaving damage that totaled around $200. But a very happy dog, I'm sure.
Yeah. I guess I would like to be informed if it was going to be left on my car.
I would think. I would think. Oh, well, the dog's happy anyway.
Yeah, and you don't want pizza outside tonight because we're going to have showers and thunderstorms across the region. Some of these may even be a little bit on the stronger side. We can't rule out a low-grade severe storm, but I think these are just going to be good old thunderstorms for a majority of them. And then they continue tomorrow into tomorrow night.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.